Welcome to Maker Conversations. I'm your host, Tiff Marchand from NIGHTCARVER Designs, and today on the show I have BA from the Wobbly Arrow Signworks. BA is a great guy, really funny, and has a really smart marketing strategy that I have to say I really admire, that he really goes for it and he does it really well with his videos. So let's check out BA and find out what makes him tick and get to know Kevin a little bit in the process. A huge thank you to the sponsor of the show, Sabertooth. If you're looking to carve and you want to get started, save a little money, use NIGHTCARVER10 in all caps to save 10%. All right, on to the show.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
What is up?
Hi.
Got protection on, folks.
Always wear
Safety first.
protection. I don't know if I would call those safety glasses unless you're trying to alert somebody from 100 miles away where you are.
I just got them delivered today, so I wanted to throw them on.
Love it. Do you know Kevin?
You know Kevin. Lefty, how's it going?
Lefty, yeah.
Good, man. How are you doing?
Hey, man.
I asked him to come join me to chit chat with you today.
More the merrier.
We were stalking you, and we were like, he's such a talented artist, but we don't get to see it enough, man. I want to see more of it. Show me them sweet angles.
Ooh.
Are you into photography and videography and stuff? Like, you're really good at doing those videos that you do. I gotta say, like, the lighting's always like really nice and you perfectly act them.
I'm working on it. The videography is something kind of my goal to progress over the next year. Photography is something I was into a lot earlier. I was like a darkroom kind of guy and loved that kind of stuff, but got out of that for a long time. So now just kind of getting back into the digital photography scene, and pretty much I'm just making it up as I go though.
Well, that's what we all do. I mean, come on, right?
Are you invested in all like the cameras and stuff? Or are you off an iPhone?
I use a Samsung, and that's pretty much all I do right now. But I do have some plans to invest in hopefully some new camera equipment soon.
I'm an iPhoner. What do you do, Kevin?
iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
I literally, I can't use an iPhone to save my life. My wife has one, and I try to use her phone. I get so frustrated because I have no idea how to use it.
It's the same thing when I try using an Android phone. I have my frustration because you just get so whatever platform you're used to, like that's what you know.
Yeah. There's definitely two camps, right?
Yes.
It's either Android or iPhone.
Yeah. That's all right. It's a personal choice. But yeah.
Well, man, you're so good at lip syncing. I mean, like my role models growing up as kid lip singing were like Cher, Celine, those kind of artists. Where
Milli
does your
Vanilli.
talent come from, man?
Don't forget Milli Vanilli. Don't sleep.
Can't forget Millie. Yeah.
Milli Vanilli, that's true.
Honestly, people ask me that all the time. One of my favorite comments I get on some of my reels is, "You're so good at lip syncing," and I say, "Lip syncing? Who's lip syncing?" But
well, you do commit. You commit.
I do. Yeah, I try. Honestly, I don't know. Like I did it once and it worked for me, and I just kept going from there. And I guess I've progressively got better, but I don't know. There's no trick to it. I just do it, and it seems to work for me.
How are you
so are
sourcing
you, like,
materials? Oh, go ahead, Kevin. I'm sorry.
You're probably like really belting out stuff and then just mute it on your audio and then record over, right?
I actually don't. I mouth it silently.
Oh.
I actually don't speak the words. I find it easier to I just have the voice in my head, and I go with that.
Nice.
Kind of like a cool trick to know though, because you do hit the words so perfectly. I assumed you were just going for it, but you are probably right. Like if you're trying to just go to the sound that you're actually hearing in your ear.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. I was going to say, how do you scout all your stuff? Are you constantly scrolling? Are you a scroller all day for audio?
I go through like spurts. So like I'll scroll for a while, and I'll try to pick out some audio that I think will work kind of in our niche, and I just save it for later. And generally when I hear the audio, like as soon as I hear it, the idea for the reel is in my head. I just file it away, and
that's cool.
When I film some reels, I pull it back up and just give her.
I wish ideas just came to my head when I hear them. I just go, "Ooh, that sounds cool." See,
yeah.
And then later on, I'm like going through, and then like you just keep, will that work? No, that one won't work. I'm terrible at like actually planning and executing anything like that.
There's lots of good ones out there that like I hear it and I'm like, I could use that one, but I don't think of an idea, so I just move past it.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, done.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So what got you into making? Oh, I'm sorry, Kev. It's hard to balance out, right?
No, go ahead, Tiff.
I'm just curious, like, what got you into making in general?
So I've always been artsy. If as weird as that sounds, I was artsy.
No.
So in high school, I was really big into art. Here in Ontario, when you go to high school, you have to pick an art credit in ninth grade, and it's either music. I can't sing, can't play an instrument. That was out. Drama. Surprisingly, I guess I'm good at drama. I didn't know at the time. I was going to say,
I'm like, you are talented at that. That's hilarious. Hidden talent.
I didn't think so at the time. So that one was out. And then the third one was art. And I was like, yeah, I like art. So I just selected it and I stuck with it through high school. Usually a lot of people just, they do the ninth grade credit and they move on, but I did it all the way through high school.
That's awesome. You got the
I actually went to an art camp, summer camp throughout high school. I was a counselor there. And it was a big part of my life. And then basically I went to university and I turned off the artistic side of my brain for a long time.
So you wear a suit to work, don't you? Like you're a suit and tie guy.
For the most part, yeah, I'm a suit and tie guy. Yeah. So it took a few years, and my wife's funny. She's always like, "You got to draw me something. Do make me some art." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to do it." She never believed me that I was artistic. And then, honestly, it was COVID.
Just kept
I'm one of those
testing you out, like,
yeah, exactly.
On, draw me something.
Yeah, it was COVID where it started coming back out. I was looking for, something to do with my time. And I'd always, woodworking and my wood shop was always something I had and I was into, and sign making just perfectly combined those two things for me. And it's kind of taken off from there.
Yeah, I was going to say, did that just transition and like, hey, I can draw up my own designs for a sign and kind of be creative in that outlet?
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know. I saw your Cardinal one. My brother's a big St. Louis Cardinals fan, so that one like stands out to me. It's really cool. So did you just like draw that up and then cut it out, or what's that one?
I didn't actually draw that one. That's just an image I used. The Cardinals pretty cool. I'm not a Cardinals fan. I'm a Red Sox fan. So,
well, I'm not a Cardinals fan. I'm a Yankees fan. So we should.
Which is so weird because he's in Utah.
Even worse, yeah. I'm a Red Sox fan in Toronto. So
the national, like everyone likes the Yankees, like across the country, though. It's like one of those teams that go international.
I mean, all the smart ones. I'm just kidding. I know you got two Boston people here, right?
I'm not even I love going to Fenway, but it's not like I'm like I watch baseball on TV. Like you won't catch that. But
I date myself because like Don Mattingly was my guy. Lefty, first baseman, lefty, first baseman. So it just kind of stuck. And now I just kind of told you about how old I am.
Yeah. Everyone always asks why I'm a Red Sox fan, and there's one word: Nomar.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yeah.
You follow the players. I get it. My husband's like that with hockey.
Yeah.
He'll watch certain teams just because he wants to watch that player play,
Yep.
So I get it.
So
you a big hockey guy being up in Canada too?
Yeah, I'm a huge hockey guy. I'm a Leafs fan. We suck, but yeah, it's painful. It's a tough team to follow, but I'm dedicated.
Did you, you said you started in COVID. Did you have any like woodworking experience before you just went for it?
Yeah, no, I'd done working before and DIY and all that kind of stuff. And I had a lot of my woodworking tools already. And, but the sign making is really where I started in COVID.
That's interesting though. A lot of people don't already like usually have a shop. So you've always just been handy too, then on top of it, I would assume.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're probably raised that way, I'm guessing. Like, is that a trait that you picked up from home?
From my grandfather, yes. My dad, not so much. Yeah.
Sometimes it skips a generation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Honestly, some of my fondest memories as a kid are being at my grandparents' house. I spent a lot of time there as a kid, and my grandfather's wood shop in the basement. I have a lot of fond memories of that place.
Awesome.
So you're going to continue doing signs, or are you trying to like stretch out? Because I know it can get maybe monotonous doing the same type of thing over and over. So when I first started, it was Wobbly Woodworks. And I really realized that sign making is what I have the passion for.
So I actually changed the name to Signworks. Big rebrand, right?
I know.
Four letters, but
I saw your big rebrand announcement when I was scrolling. Yeah. I was like, ooh, dramatic.
Yeah, it was a huge change, but yeah. So as of right now, sign making is what I'm focused on, and it's what I'm passionate about. That could always change in the future. And then I do a huge rebrand back to Woodworks, but I don't think that's going to happen at this point.
I'm the same way though. I really am happy in the sign game. Like,
yes,
it's fun. And you can be so creative and different on each one. Like, I'm super happy here. I don't want to make anything else really besides signs for my artistic, passions.
Well, and is part of it like knowing that someone's displaying your art, kind of like an art piece, right? That's what a sign really is.
I mean, it probably is. You're like, yeah, that's going on someone's wall and they're going to be staring at it, Yeah.
I think that's probably part of it, honestly, Kevin. Yeah, it's making art, but wood's just a medium, right?
Yeah. Instead of like making furniture and then someone plops their ass on it, right?
Or feet, whatever.
What bigger compliment could you have, right?
Yeah, right? Geez. Thanks a lot.
Everyone's got to be passionate on a certain like aspect of things though. Like, I just love just making art. Like you said, you're making a sign, but it's an art installation. That's like you said, Kevin, that's going to be on someone's wall. Look at that. You just diagnosed us both, Kev.
Yeah. What's your favorite one you've done then? Does one stand out?
That's tough. One of the ones I like, it was actually probably made it about a year ago now. It was a Father's Day gift for a customer. It's Layman's Bar. And it was just kind of a different piece, different colors than I normally do. And it didn't get a lot of love at the time on Instagram, but it's one of my favorite pieces that I've done.
What you said, Layman's Bar?
Yeah.
Nice. Is it recent or a while ago?
No, it's about a year ago.
Oh, I don't know if I saw it. But doesn't that suck when you make something that you really love and it doesn't get like the love that it deserves? Yeah. It's the worst.
That's part of the game with Instagram though, right? Is something I think is hilarious or an amazing piece of art, and I guess the world doesn't agree, but hey, I think it's funny. I think it's nice. I don't care.
Yeah.
You're entertaining yourself. That's kind of my aspect on it.
Exactly.
It entertains other people and myself, and that's good.
Exactly.
I know. I can imagine Kevin pulling out the pair of white shorts for his first video. Just like this is gonna be funny.
This is gonna go over great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you ask your wife, Kevin, first? Like, would she care or no? You just go for it and then show her later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only one she's really helped me with was like that Christmas one. I'm like blowing sawdust, but other than that, she's like, "How come you don't let me record you?" I'm like, "Because the tripod does its job, right?" And it's a little embarrassing until I get the right stuff. But maybe you feel like that too when you're recording. You're like, I don't know if this is just right. So how many times do you record your stuff? You just go for it.
For the most part, it's just once.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, very rarely do I re-record something. Yeah. Very surprisingly, very rarely I have to re-record something. So a lot of times it's one take, and that was in my head. It translated perfectly, and I'm going with it.
I'm that person who will message somebody if I really like what they just did and ask them that question though. How many takes? How many takes? I asked Sam from Uncharted Customs when he did that the Greatest Showman one with the whole I was like,
the slide?
Yes, the slide. Yeah, and then like he went down the same question. Yes. Yeah. I'm like, how many takes? How many takes? So I was like, come on, tell me.
Yeah. I sent him the same message.
That's so funny.
How many?
I think he said
3 or 4. I think he said.
Yeah. I think 4 was the answer. Nice. I was impressed with the number. I was thinking it would be much higher because he had it so perfectly.
Yeah, he nailed that one.
Yes. I'm just like, I needed to know. It's too funny. Do you have kids? We were talking about it. And I'm like, I don't know.
I have 3 kids. I have 3 girls. Yeah.
3 kids. Okay. I feel like you share them in your stories occasionally.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I watch way too many.
I'm completely outnumbered.
Yeah. My dad was like that, by the way. He had 3 kids that are all girls. So
yeah. The best pieces of advice I ever got about being a dad to all girls was, if I ever come home and there's a toilet seat that's been left up in my house that I didn't leave up, then I have a problem.
There you go. Yeah.
true.
Why is that up?
Yeah, I didn't leave
Where
that
is
up. Yeah, exactly.
I like how that's the piece of advice someone gives you.
Great advice.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
You think
Who was
about it.
over today?
Yeah.
Shut up. I just washed the toilet.
Or
Yeah.
do any of them take interest in your hobby? I mean,
My middle one is kind of starting to. So she's only 9, so I'm kind of hopefully kind of nurturing that a little bit, and I'll get her behind the scroll saw shortly, hopefully, and see what she can pull off.
You can start it pretty young.
Yeah.
As long as, they don't get all crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
well, the scroll saw is a good one too. I mean, it's dangerous, but it's not like,
Yeah.
super high powered, I guess. I mean,
I feel
You can hurt yourself, but you're not going to
Yeah.
lose the limb. That's for sure.
yeah, there you go.
Well, I think we have to ask Shar for like a video of just like what the easiest tools are for a kid to start on, because she would be the one to know all that,
Yeah.
Yeah. She's probably the best one. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like which works best for your kids. Because I was just thinking like a jigsaw would be cool, but they make a lot of vibration, so they can get a
Yeah.
little wild.
You have to have control of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it could just take off. Too funny. What do you
That's
do
why
at work if you can share? I don't know.
Yeah. That's why my son likes doing epoxy, because it's kind of like low risk and it's not too hard,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's fun.
I can do it. 9-year-old. I have a 9-year-old too. He can do it.
But yeah, what do you do for work? Tell me. If you can. Unless you're a secret
Yeah,
agent.
I can. It's not something I advertise openly. There's a reason, because it's
You don't
so,
have to say it then.
no, I will. It's just when you hear it, you'll probably know why I don't talk about it too much. So full time, I'm a police officer.
Okay.
I'm a detective, and I specialize in sex crimes.
Wow.
So that's really why I don't talk about it that much.
I mean, yeah, you don't really want to talk about that openly, but you really can.
Yeah, but that's my day job. I've been a police officer for the past 16 years,
Wow.
and yeah. So this is my safe space here.
Yeah.
This
It
is
actually
my,
makes a lot of sense while you're trying to have a lot of fun with what you're doing at night.
Yeah, my humor is, that's my therapy, right?
Yeah. No, that actually makes a lot of sense, dude. I kind of like, because that's a lot of stuff to be weighing on you all day in your day job.
Yeah. So when people hear that, they're usually pretty shocked, but yeah, that's a different side of me, and this is my release.
Yeah. No. That's cool. Did you go to school for like criminal psychology or anything, or is that what you specialize?
Not at all. I went to
No?
school for housing and real estate. I wanted to be an urban
Wow.
planner. I use my degree for nothing on a daily basis, pretty much.
I was gonna
but
say, I heard you said you went to university, so I'm like, what do you go for?
yeah.
So, you know
That's-
what though? People lead into
pivoted.
all kinds of things. No, that seriously.
Nice. Do you have like a favorite wood you work with? I mean, or do you, if you spray paint at all, you probably just use and what, like MDFs or?
For the most part, a lot of my stuff is MDF.
Yeah.
I use a lot of maple plywood too. In the next few months, I really want to start using some more hardwoods again in my pieces. I love spalted maple, and I really want to create some pieces with that. So
Spalted maple is always fun to look at. It just has
It's
so much
beautiful.
character.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I used to make fun of my dad when I was younger about how much he loved different wood grains and stuff. And now I'm like, okay, all right, I get it.
You get it, yeah.
Because I paint everything. Well, I was interviewing a bunch of carvers on Monday, and they all asked that question of like, what's your favorite wood to work with? And they got over to me, and I was afraid to say pine because I know they all specialize in hardwood. And then they got to me, and I'm like, cedar and teak. And then later on, I was like, and pine.
Guys, I got to take that back. I lied. It's actually pine.
See, I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. It's a great wood, and people give it, a lot of shit, but I like
Tiff,
it.
I know you use a lot of like project panels and stuff, right? For your
Yeah.
pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a product I want to start marketing in the fall that I want to use project panels for. And I was at one of the big box stores the other day looking at them, and prices here have just gone crazy for the project panels. I was
Yeah.
shocked.
I have to go to Lowe's for them because Home Depot doesn't have the same selection that I want. Like Lowe's, goes up. They can actually go to like 3 foot by 3 foot if you need it. And like if you go to Home Depot, they don't really have much. Plus they have like the teak and so there's options for if you want to do an outdoor sign or not. And usually the glue ups are really good. And if they're not, I'll bring it right back and get another one. But it does suck if they crack on you.
Yeah.
I wish I could make my own, but like I don't have the tools to make it good. And I don't like the table saw that much.
Part of me is I don't have the space to do all these glue ups all the time, right? If it's for like I said, it's for a product I want to market, I don't have the space to do all the glue ups, right? So it's a lot easier just to go right to the project panels, I'm thinking. So
oh yeah. And if you get the 2x4 ones, sorry, Kevin, that are 1 inch thick, they're perfect. They don't usually break or anything like that. They carve gorgeous too.
So I'm assuming you are just in a 1-car garage then, or one side of a garage?
It's a little bigger than like a car and a half. It's almost 2-car garage, but probably a quarter of it is dedicated to my kids' bikes and toys and stuff. So that's the other side of the garage that you don't see, that I never show in my videos. But yeah, I plan, as I told my wife, is I want to build a shed in the backyard to move a lot of that stuff out so I can make more room for more tools.
We had to do
I didn't tell her that part, but that's why.
No, but we had to do that for me as well. I had to get rid of everything because I have a 1-car garage. So like every inch eventually took over. I started off in the corner and then I eventually moved over the whole thing.
Yeah. Space. I'll never have enough space. My dream is to have a detached garage or shop that's just for me.
Same.
For my toys and my stuff, but maybe one day.
Yeah. Nice. So you have a CNC behind you, right?
I do, yeah.
So do you mix the CNC and scroll art? I mean, probably do your rounds, right?
Yeah, I do. Probably now it's probably 80-20 probably. I'm probably 80% using the CNC now and still 20% using the scroll saw. It just depends on the piece. A lot of things I can still scroll a lot faster, but repeatability and accuracy, some projects, the CNC, you just can't beat it, right?
Yeah.
I'm starting to do a lot of stuff where I'm combining V-carves with 3D pieces as well. So part of the piece is V-carved and the other portion of it is 3D. So the CNC is amazing for that. I love V-carving.
I love having the CNC. I know Kevin's got one too. It's nice to have. Like, I know when I first started, because I was hand router carver, people will be like, "Oh, you're going to get a CNC, lame." Like, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, like my back hurts and my neck hurts. Like, let's be honest, I can't do it forever. Like
you can't beat the speed and accuracy of the CNC, right? Like that's the carving portion, right? Like the flip side is, there's still the design work, right? You still got to do, create the G code and everything like that. Like that takes time, right?
It takes longer than
like
just
I said,
there's a photo and cutting.
Yeah, absolutely. So I say like a lot of things I can scroll a lot faster. That's for sure. But it's just different. It's a tool, right? It has its place, and so does the scroll saw.
Yeah, it's nice if someone wants that same sign. You're like, okay, here it is.
Yeah.
So that is nice about it.
Yeah. Tiff, I see that big laser in the corner behind you. I know you just got, but that's on my list as well. I need one of those as well.
A goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be dedicating some time to it next month. Like in 2 months, and just attack it. Yeah. We'll be best friends real soon.
It looks nice sitting there.
Yeah. I know. I got it and it was way bigger than I thought it was going to be. So I was like, oh boy. I left enough room, but like that is the big reason I remodeled this whole room, was because I knew there was no way I was going to get a laser in here how it was currently set up. But it's just bad.
Yeah.
So I'm efficient, but now I have nowhere to work. I don't have a flat area to actually work. So that's the next thing.
It's the next project.
Yeah. I'm like, make a table in here somehow. So
nice. So are you gonna, you said you're a police officer, are you gonna just put in 20 years and then do this full time, or what's your
that's a good question.
Future plans?
I wish I could retire at 20 years, but I think Canadian retirement is a little different than some of the police officers I've seen down in the States there. We it's more like 30 to 35 years.
Okay.
Here for like a full retirement. That said, though, over the next 10 years, if I can grow this business big enough where I can retire early, I may.
Yeah.
It always depends. It depends the problem is that that's also lines up with the time that my kids will start probably going to college and university. So
Yeah.
that may depend on whether or not I'll be able to retire or not. I always joke with my wife that I hope,
man.
exactly. I always joke with my wife. I say, I hope one of the girls is dumb because I can't afford to send all three of them to school.
Well, hopefully they're spaced out enough, right? So it's not
Yeah.
like back to back, but still.
Yeah, it's pretty much spaced out. So one finishes and the next one starts. So it's no reprieve.
And then you got weddings because,
Oh, God.
It's good, man.
It's too
No,
early
but
to talk
that's so
about
true,
that.
though.
You're killing me, man.
All right.
So true. Kevin G is laying on hard. Although,
Sorry.
I mean,
well, my oldest is getting married in August, so it was on my
it's
mind,
top
so.
of your mind. Yeah. Next will be the baby shower. It just keeps going.
Probably. It's
Yeah,
all good. That's life.
that is life.
Sure. It is. Yeah.
I think it's cool though. That was a good question. I was curious about that. Like, but I figured this was probably going to be like a passion for a while. I didn't know like if you wanted to turn it into like a business or if it was something that was like you said, your therapy.
Yeah, I would say it started that way. But I do, as I've, been growing so rapidly, I enjoy this, right? Like I love being out in my shop. I love making, and if I can turn that into more of a business, I'm going to. Like, I'm going to follow that
Awesome.
passion.
Yeah.
I know,
That's
Tiff,
great.
you're going down that road, right? Like you're
I
ready to
told
go
Kevin,
full time, right?
I did it. I did it today. I gave an exact date today. Quit. Yeah. Like the actual, like the email was sent at 4:00 today, and I was done. I get June 24th.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
awesome.
How did it feel when you hit send?
I think a couple tears came out. Like, oh shit, I did it. like, oh, proud. Like,
you've been there a
proud
long time,
tears.
right?
16 years, same as you at your job. Yeah. Yep.
It's a long time.
It is, and I've hated it for a really long time. So, well, because like I was hired to be an artist, and now I'm like data entry,
Yeah.
So I was like, no way.
Yeah, that's tough to want to be doing something and being forced to do something completely else, something else just for the paycheck. It's tough, right?
Yep.
But if you found a way to follow your passion and make a living from it, that's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, I've been pushing hard. Like I said the other day to my husband, I'm like, he gave me the ability to do it. Like he's been stepping up all these years, like taking care of our newborns and kids. Like, right, I started this right after my kids were born. Like I've had other companies and stuff, but I went hard with like the woodworking and sign making. Like when my kids were, I think like 6 months old, maybe. Like I just needed to get out of the house and away from my children.
Yeah.
Like it was necessity. Like I need to be away. I need to do something that's just me out in the garage. So I like bought a router, and I just went after it. But yeah, like I didn't stop after that. Like once I told Kevin, I was doing it on Facebook before the kids were born. And I didn't realize that there was such a world out there on Instagram. And once I found that community, like that's where I started seeing like these amazing opportunities that could be had. Like there's actually careers out in this. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's what's so amazing about this maker community, and especially on Instagram, right? Is that you see so many people that are just following a passion and being successful at it and creating a livelihood for themselves and their family. It's inspirational, right? And I know the friendships and the connections I've made just through the maker community. It's amazing, right? It's inspiring for me personally.
Same. Like you said, I saw other people doing it. Like for me, it was like Brad from Fix This, Build That. Like, cause when I started, Brad was just starting to get popular. And now you see where he is, and it's just amazing. Like what he's done, like with the plans, like I don't want to make plans, but maybe I want to make cut files for people, like maybe I want to make designs. So like just the things that he's done, like when he had, I don't know if you listen to Made for Profit podcast, but like, very informative. He coached people. I don't want to coach people like that, but I enjoyed the free coaching, so just those kind of things paved the avenue for me. I'm one of those people who just like listen, whatever I find nuggets of information, just tune in. What else you doing? If you're working a boring day job that you hate, just listen to everything you can.
Absolutely. Like I commute to and from work, right?
Yeah.
And podcasts are, keep me sane on my commute through Toronto traffic, let me tell you. But
bad, huh?
Yeah, Made for Profit, it was a huge inspiration for me as well.
Yeah.
John Malecki's one of my idols. I love John.
They're both so good. They are.
Yeah.
Who are these guys you're talking? I'm just kidding.
I was like,
yeah. Never heard of them. Yeah.
Kevin, have you ever listened to that podcast?
Yeah, I actually started out listening to that too.
Yeah.
And I just kind of transferred to my buddies, and then I have
yeah.
kids in the car. So you know how it is. I don't always get to choose.
I know. And you're not working at a desk where you could just throw headphones on.
Yeah, that is tough.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, how do you open this world up to like your coworkers? Because like as a teacher, I have, the white shorts thing, and they make fun of it. But to your like coworkers, I can imagine, because my twin brother's an officer too, and I think they would probably give them, have fun with it. So, or do you keep it all on the down low?
I don't keep it on the down low, but it's not something I broadcast all the time. Like I work on a close knit team, and my team all know about it. Like they all follow me and they joke about my reels and stuff. But the broader policing community, I keep separate. But not for any reason other than I just don't talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's very different worlds. Yeah.
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 That's fun.
That's cool though. I remember when you first came out and like when you joined, oh my God, now I'm like, For the Gram podcast. And like, it was just when you were starting to get popular and you were just starting to do the lip syncing and stuff. Like they called it out, like Vic called it out that you're going to get there quick. And I was like, I agree. I remember messaging you. I was like, see you later, buddy. Cause you're just about to fly off. That had to be a crazy feeling.
And like I remember that too. Like my goal for 2021, I guess, is I wanted to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And it was before I was really doing reels. I was just posting my art and doing some reels of my my pieces and stuff, but I really hadn't figured out the game that is Instagram at the time. Yeah. And I hit 1,000 subscribers, I think mid-December, I think. So I hit it earlier and I was pretty excited. And then I hit 2,000, I think on New Year's Day, and I was shocked. And just the last, 6 months, it's just shot up from there. So people ask me kind of like how I'm doing it or what I'm doing it. My answer is always the same, is I have no idea. I'm just making it up as I go. Right. But yeah, I was really treading water for a long time, just not posting consistently, just here and there. That's the biggest advice I give people, is I post consistently. And
what's consistent for you? Is it every day or is it?
I post probably six days a week now. Yeah. And I try to mix in at least 1 or 2 photo posts of one of my pieces every week. And then the rest are reels. Some of them are just my stupid, in the shop reels. And then I always include a reel with the specific piece as well.
Yeah, I noticed that you're good about that. You'll showcase your piece a couple times instead of just the once and gone, which is nice because a lot of us don't do that. We just, there it is, and then you're off to the next one. But you're good at highlighting it a couple times.
Yeah. It's a marketing strategy, right? That's that's what I figured out, is that the reels are the way to get eyes on my pieces and create orders, right? So the more people I have watching my reels, the more orders I get. Seems to work for me.
So are you getting them directly from Instagram? That's where your prime?
Majority, yeah. It started off more Facebook, like local stuff around here. But now the majority of my pieces are from Instagram. And I always find it so funny. I get orders from all over North America. And I don't know why. I have one going out to New Hampshire. I'm shipping out tomorrow. And I have no idea why someone from New Hampshire wanted me to make their piece. But they did. And I'm happy to make it. And, it's exciting, right? I love shipping stuff and seeing my pieces go all over the continent, right? So
how is that shipping from Canada to US? Is it a lot more expensive for you?
It's not bad at all, actually. No, it's I use ShipNerd.
Okay.
ShipNerd is amazing. And it's pieces that go from Canada to the US. I think ShipNerd uses UPS.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious because just for us sending to you, it's quite a bit more. So I was curious. I'm sure if I tried ShipNerd though, for me, it might be a bit more affordable, but I don't usually, I use stamps.com.
Yeah, like Canada Post would be astronomical sending stuff through our regular mailing. It's the same as USPS, I guess. Like it's ridiculous to send something through Canada Post here.
Crazy. Those are the things
Cool.
that are small business troubles that people don't know about, is like the logistics and everything like that go into things.
It's definitely something I knew nothing about before getting into this, but I just kind of have that attitude is where I'll dive in, I'll figure it out, right? If I don't know it, I'll figure it out. And I think that's like a lot of us small business owners, right? You learn by doing, right? There's no course in high school in small business.
Sadly.
There should be probably, but.
So what does your wife do? Is she in the field too working, or is she hanging out with the kids?
My wife is a saint. I couldn't do what I do without her. That's for sure. She's a full-time working mom as well.
That's a lot of work.
She works in a hospital.
Too. Jeez.
Yeah. So like, COVID, a lot of our friends, they, we're at home working from home and things like that. The two of us both work in a profession where you can't work from home.
Yeah. That's a struggle.
Yeah. We've been going into work every day, and it's been a struggle. Like it's been a struggle for the last 2 years. That's for sure. But yeah, she's amazing. Like I said, I couldn't do this without her support.
I feel the same way. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's key, to have someone partnered up with you, to, like, your husband's doing the, raising the kids, so you have this opportunity to.
Yeah, exactly.
Your wife's doing it as well. So
yeah.
Awesome.
She's finally coming around to liking my reels and realizing that I am funny. I've been telling her for the past 15 years that I'm funny. And
my husband hasn't made it that
can
far
do
yet.
art.
Yeah, exactly. I
Wait,
finally showed her that. Yeah,
I was like, does she believe it yet?
she does. Yes.
Yes, that's good. You won her over.
Yes.
Like, you're making money,
Exactly.
Doing what you do, keep doing it.
You're like, honey, you see this package? Someone paid me to make this.
Yeah. That took her a while to realize that she couldn't believe that either. Someone actually paid you for this? Yeah. I don't believe it either, but yeah.
That's cool. So being full-time working and like doing woodworking, how far are you at, like, on your orders? Do you have pretty quick turnaround with that?
Right now I'm about a month probably for my custom orders.
Nice.
It's not bad at all, man. That's good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's probably getting a little longer than that now, especially over the summer. We're busy with the kids and stuff being home, so I'll probably have to extend that out a bit. But yeah,
it's good to be busy, right?
It is, yeah.
And do a lot of your clients like give you the liberty, kind of, do you take their ideas and come up with your own, or do they kind of get specific on, like, I saw this, now I want this?
It's a mix. Like there's some that they have a very specific vision in mind that they want, and they ask me to create for them. And I don't mind doing that at all. But I love when a client comes to me and says, "This is my idea. Do what you will with it." That's what I love, right? Like that's the artistic side of me coming out and getting to design what I want to, how I want to.
So on your favorite side, did you have like the liberty to kind of do your own thing? Is that why it was your favorite, or just kind of the sentimental value behind it?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both. That one was, kind of, this is kind of an idea, go with it. And they were super happy with how it turned out. And that's the best feeling, right? When you've designed something and the client really loves it. That's amazing.
Yeah. How do you deal with this?
I had one piece where I was super happy with, and I designed it and it took me forever to build, and the client came and picked it up and was just like, thanks. Turned around and left. I didn't admit it to her at the time, but I was so heartbroken. Like I was really upset that there wasn't a bit more of a response from that one, but it happens.
Was she the actual one who ordered it, or was it like, that is hard. Like when a husband comes to pick it up, if their wife ordered it and they're just like, thanks, I'm not offended by that because they had nothing to do
that
with
wouldn't
that.
bother me.
It means nothing to them. But if I worked with you to create that and you're just like, cool.
Yeah. And she may very well have loved it.
Yeah.
But it was just the response I get kind of twigged something in my heart there a little bit.
Yeah. That instant gratification. We need that, right? As artists.
We need a like.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Did she ever come back and say, because I've had that happen, like they come pick up no reaction. And then a few days later, it's like they had time to process and they're like, oh, this is really cool. But nothing.
No,
crickets.
Nothing. Crickets.
Dang. Harsh.
It's okay. Still a great piece. I loved it.
Very cool.
Well, it's funny though, because like we are people who want a little bit of appreciation, if you know what I mean. Like, just give me a little bit, a little
Yeah.
something.
Even my wife was shocked. Like she asked me, I walked back in the house and she said, she love it? I said, I don't know. I don't think so.
That's
Well,
a hard
that's-
one. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know.
there's so much pressure sometimes too, right? Like you want to get it perfect for them, and then you don't have that like thank you or that,
Yeah.
they don't mention anything. And you're like, oh, okay.
She paid me at the end of the day, so I can't be that
Yeah,
upset. eh?
there you go.
That's true.
That made you feel a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a certain kind of sign that you want to make? Or like for a certain kind of company or anything? Like what's your desire?
So I love making small business logos.
Mhm.
I've been doing a lot of those lately, and like that doesn't have the, with the exception of maybe materials and color choices. Sometimes that doesn't have a lot of like artistic creative freedom. But I really love making the pieces for the small businesses. Like it's really fun to do. But I want to start making some more pieces that like I've designed, like that are my original designs. And repeat them and sell them. Like I said, I want to start incorporating some more hardwoods, and I want to add some like acrylic and epoxy into it as well. So really that mixed medium pieces is really where I want to start growing in the next few months.
Is it like a certain theme that you're going to be concentrating on, or just kind of whatever comes
Yeah, I have
out?
right now I kind of have a loose idea in my head, but it could change as I start putting pieces together. Right.
That's cool.
I'm not
Like
tied down anything.
Like a signature piece, like Lizzie has her record sign, kind of that.
Yeah.
And I noticed she kind of started out with paint. Now she's doing like hardwoods and different wood types, and just
it keeps evolving.
changes it. But it's your thing. That's awesome.
Yeah, like I don't know if you guys know Loren from Wildwood Creative. She has a look as well, right? Like you see a piece and you know it's Loren's piece.
Just soft, beautiful flowers.
Yeah,
it's all certain tone. There's always a little bit of gold in it.
Yeah, I want to create like a look that that's the Wobbly Arrow look, right? So that's kind of my goal over the next few months.
So the name, where does the name come from?
The name, yeah. So the name basically. So my wife and I both have arrow tattoos on our forearms that we got for our anniversary a few years ago. Basically, the arrow just signifies like, in life, you can only go forward, right? You can't look backwards. You can't go backwards. An arrow only goes one direction, just like life, right? And Wobbly Arrow came from, the concept of, you can have a goal for yourself. You can have a target you want to hit in life. But with an arrow, when you shoot it, it doesn't fly perfectly straight. It kind of wobbles through the air as it goes, right? If you watch it in slow motion. So, and when you have that goal and that target, you may not hit the bullseye, but you'll hit the target, right? And sometimes in life, close enough is good enough, right?
Yeah.
And it's just taking that shot and going forward, right? And you'll hit the target, basically. So that's kind of where the Wobbly Arrow moniker came from.
I was hoping it wasn't like a bad tattoo artist, like that Wobbly Arrow with your arm.
Yeah,
dude.
the crooked arm. Yeah.
I just went with
that's
it.
a
It's
great
part of my
analogy.
brand.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just taking your shot when you got it, right? And I'm the kind of person, I don't want to live with any regrets, right? So that's kind of where I'm going with this business.
That's beautiful, man.
Seeing where it goes.
That's great. You put a lot of thought into that. Or you came up with a name and you came up with a great backstory for it. Either one.
Either one works, right? No.
I commend you on it. And that's what it's a great logo though, too. Did you do it yourself?
I actually didn't do this one myself.
I didn't do mine either.
This one I had someone design it for me, and I switched it very briefly. I don't know if you saw scrolling through my page. I designed one myself, and I just didn't like it, and I switched back. So
Nice. Was it a target with like arrows? I saw.
Oh,
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I do remember that. Yeah,
I thought it was cool.
that was it. Yeah,
mine's like I'm left-handed, lefty. Real big backstory there.
I carve at night, night carver.
Do you, Kevin? Do you notice when people are left-handed? Being a lefty, my wife's a lefty, and she always notices a left-handed person.
I do. Like in my classroom, I'm like, oh, 2 lefties this year, and then just I always notice. I'm like, hey, there you go.
She's got me doing that too. Like if we're watching a movie or TV or something like that, one of the actors is left-handed. Now I can pick it out too.
Nice.
I have one lefty kid.
One of the twins, eh?
Yay.
Yeah,
Just like Kev, one of the twins left.
it's true.
Yeah. It's interesting. I
awesome.
wonder if that's common. Do you know what I mean? Like one kid being a righty and one being a lefty. It's interesting.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Although
question.
they're not identical, but still. Sorry, now I'm thinking about that. I'm intrigued.
Science.
When you're
Science.
not working or in the shop, you got any other hobbies you like? I mean, besides watching maybe hockey and stuff.
I'm big into sports. Like sports is a huge passion of mine. It's one of my things. Like I'm not into video games. I'm not one of those guys. I haven't played video games since probably 9th grade. But sports is kind of my vice. So if there's, with the exception of soccer's not a sport. Sorry to offend anyone, but everything else is
Wow.
is something.
Not a sport.
Yeah, it's just a game.
So you're not
This
doing a
is
lot
a
of soccer
game.
science then, huh?
No, that would be tough for me to do. It would be tough for me to do.
Sorry, I'm booked out right now.
One of the worst days of my life happened a couple months ago. My middle daughter told me, I came home from work and she says, "Daddy, I want to play soccer this summer." I thought, oh God, now I have to sit and watch a soccer game. But
Well, it's
yeah,
the
no.
heat though. Seriously though, watching soccer, you just sit there in a field with no shade and just burn.
It's also the fact
Awful.
that it's soccer.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So sports is one of my big hobbies, and I really like reading too. I'm a big reader. One of the things I did. So as a police officer, 11, 12 years ago, I worked for a year in a high school as a school resource officer. And one of the things I did was I created a book club for 9th grade boys to inspire them to get into reading. And that was a huge, yeah. So that was a huge passion of mine
right now. He loves
Oh,
it.
nice. Yeah, it was a great. I did it for a year. It was a great experience.
Awesome. Yeah.
And yeah, that was one of the
That's
highlights I took was trying to get teen boys especially into the love of reading.
That's a
Yeah, I
hard
think it's a
one.
lost art, man.
Yeah.
With so many things to choose from. That's awesome. So,
Right. There's so many other ways to fill your time now that nobody just clicks on open a book or something or.
Remember when I told you my wife is awesome?
Yeah. She here.
She just got home and she walked in and gave me a milkshake. So see, she's awesome.
strawberry.
Man.
Vanilla. I'm a vanilla guy.
No,
Like,
they make fun of vanilla, but vanilla is delicious.
Exactly. It's the best.
That's a good wife though.
Told you. She's awesome.
She came in all stealthy too and just dropped it and ran.
She did. Yeah.
Here you go, bye.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, good for her. I want to know, were you always that organized or did that come after the Instagram?
Organized in what?
Your just tools, the French cleats
No, that was beforehand.
beforehand. I like
I
that.
get-
You've been established before the Instagram game.
Yeah, I get kind of really like laser focused on something sometimes. Like when something gets in my head, I can't, like I have to do it.
You
I have to finish
execute
it. So
I get that.
I have to execute it. It's annoying at times. I know it drives my wife nuts. But yeah, that's probably what this is back here.
My husband's the same way, by the way. It does drive me nuts. Like he'll just flick into mode, like we'll have a party and it has to be cleaned up before everybody's gone. Like all of a sudden it just kicks in and he just starts like running around like a madman. Like he's being timed and it's a contest and it has to get done.
you're like, come visit, quit doing the dishes. I get that
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
too. At parties. It's
Yes. Like come
okay,
hang out.
fine.
Stop making sure the house is sparkling. Like it's supposed to be disgusting later. And then you deal with it when you're tired.
Yes. And you
Like-
hate the decisions you made to host the party. Yeah.
Yeah. But you have to be there for the party. Like you got to be present.
Yeah.
Which
It's
is
true.
probably all of our hard problems. Like when it comes to Instagram and trying to like get off of it, at least for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is time consuming, right?
It
The
is.
balance call.
Then you get sucked down a wormhole.
It's definitely a wormhole. It's really trying to just find that balance, right? At least I'm a busy guy, right? I have 3 kids, a full-time job, and this is my side hustle, right? But that's why I find being consistent and being organized really help doing it.
Are you pre-planning things? Well, actually you are. You're saving those sound bites. You're at least mentally pre-planning.
So I like a lot of my reels, I batch out content. So I'll film 5 or 6 at a time, and just spread them out.
Whitney does that at the Toasty Flannel. I know she
Yeah.
like will spend a day just like knocking a bunch out.
Yeah, I couldn't post every day if I didn't do that. It'd be impossible.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've just been re-editing old content right now. I keep
Works,
diving
right?
in every couple of weeks. I'll go back to my photos and I'll dig deeper. I'm like, here you go. And I'll just throw the photos back on my phone. I'm like, all right, this is this week's content.
Yeah, but you think
It
it may be old content for you and some of your followers.
yeah,
but
it's
as
new
long as
for
you're gaining
most.
new followers, and it's
Yeah.
new for them, right? They've never seen it before.
It is. It's new for most of them because a lot of them have just come in more recently. So it's like, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
So who are some like when you first jumped on IG, something like your inspirations or just someone that you like love to follow? You have a few accounts like that. I mean, I think we all do.
Yeah, like in the scroll saw MDF space, Dave Taylor is like a huge, he's the GOAT, right?
Always teaching, always
always
sharing.
teaching. Dave was a huge help for me when I first started. So he was probably the number one. Sam from Uncharted was just getting started. So Sam's always been a big help to me, and
He's awesome.
he's a great guy in this community as well, right? He's always willing to help and share.
That's my buddy.
Lizzie, obviously, learned a lot from her. Vic from the Stump Shop, he's local to me as well. He's been a huge help for me as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's so many more, right? Like, and just
but
the
like,
relationships
I see why
you develop.
You said who you said because they're teachers.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, probably my best friend on Instagram that I talk to every day is Chris from Fort Foley.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I like him.
He's the funniest guy I know, pretty much. So he's going to blow up, I think, in the next few months. His account's coming.
He's been working hard for years now too, which is nice though. Like, it's getting that comfort level. It does take time unless you just come out of it and you just let loose. There's that just comfort level. Plus, like, Instagram has been changing so much so fast. Like, what people are wanting to be on the app for is constantly changing, and there's different rules and stuff. So it's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like like I said, my reels are definitely a marketing strategy for my art and my pieces. But just recently, like I've trying to get to more of the content creation and hopefully working with some brands and building that side of my content as well. So that's a change for me. And there's, some great makers that I've been able to reach out to help with that as well.
Nice. I was curious if you were trying to do brand partnerships next, or if you.
Yeah, I've got a couple in the works.
Great.
Which I'm excited about. But I don't want to just partner with brands for the sake of partnering with brands. I want to make it relatable to my space and what I do, right? Like, I don't want to change what I do to work with brands. I want to work with brands within what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'd make it a lot easier too. And then you're not changing your authenticity, right?
Yeah.
Like you said.
That's important, right? Like in my life, my integrity is something I have control over, and it's something I want to maintain, right?
Yeah, 100%. Dude, thank you for joining me. I was telling Kevin before you came on, just what a great supporter you've been for me and friend over the last couple of years since you've joined. And it's been a pleasure, like, watching your journey and watching it pop off, like you said, it's hard to get that first 1,000, but then, like, once you got it, then you're building your comfort level. And I think that you're a great example of showing, like, somebody who watches the trends, puts in the work, like, you're constantly looking for different things. You're doing the education, and you're really staying on brand with the lip singing. Like, I know you do them a lot, but you're keeping it very hyper focused and keeping it to what you're doing. It's not like you're just doing it to just do it. Like, yours are for a reason. And a lot of it, I think people can relate to, who are other makers. Like, they're very much like expressing our inner feelings for us, which is fun. So the fact that you didn't know that you were a drama boy when you were younger, as I was scrolling your page, all your freeze frames are just such, like, very funny, charismatic, ridiculous, like, just poses throughout it. And I love it. Like, it comes together.
I think it's something I didn't realize I was doing at first, but nonverbal communication is a huge part of communication, right? And I think that's what I realized when I do my reels, is that part of it comes out a lot more, right? So I kind of stumbled on that by accident, but I've realized it now. So now I do kind of make sure I'm incorporating that.
Yeah, you picked the perfect facial expression for your post. Like for just like the still photos when you're scrolling, you can read from the face, like what if this is going to be funny, or if this is, like what's happening. You kind of get like a little bit of a preview.
Thank you. My face is funny. I appreciate that. Yes.
Yeah.
Your face is hilarious.
That was a compliment.
It was a compliment.
And now you have a new hashtag too. Drama boy. Is that what you said?
Boy.
Hashtag drama boy. Yeah.
I called him a drama boy. I felt like it was appropriate.
I think I'm going to use that hashtag in my post tomorrow.
You should. You should and see how it brings in, like who it brings. They're probably like
dynamic.
Honestly, it might work. It might be a great hashtag for you. Drama boy.
It's funny. Hashtags is something like, with Instagram, you experiment with and stuff. And honestly, I don't even know how much they work anymore. Every once in a while I throw in like random hashtag, or I don't think anyone actually reads these. And it's funny to see if I get comments on it or not.
It is kind of a space that you can kind of be a little bit of creativity with it and just use it as a joke. I've done that a lot too. Like hashtag I've lost it. I feel like I'll just do that. Like,
yeah,
because it's true.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that one I did with the Britney Spears audio, that one did really well, and I think I put Free Britney in there.
Whatever's gonna bring them in, you gotta use the popular ones. Hey, people do follow them. I will say that because like when I'm on like Sabretooths, it does show you them pretty nicely. Like if you're following a hashtag. So I do recommend it if you want to see certain things. And it's kind of fun to see things pop up. You're like, oh, look at that piece. I didn't have to go looking for it. It just showed it to me.
Now that you're a professional social media manager, I may have to reach out to you more for some more tips.
I'm happy. Yes. And I want more. I want people's tips too. I'm learning. I actually, messaged Titan Chainsaw today because as I'm in Sabretooth's world, I see this guy just posting awesome things to all the people that are tagging us. Cause like chainsaw carvers, a lot of them use burrs to do the fine details. So it's kind of like a teammate, like the chainsaw carvers and the burr people. So this guy is outstanding at it. He's doing really good. So we actually just started following each other today. And I'm like, teach me your skills.
Yes.
Like, please. And Haven's going to be an incredible tool because they're teaching the business aspect of being a content creator, which I really need to know.
Yeah, Haven's like, I know you're working with Haven now, and the first I heard of Haven because of Brad, right? Brad used to talk about that was a big part of his blog when he first started, right? So that'll be interesting to see where you take that.
Yeah, I mean I think it's turning into more DIY than it is lifestyle now. People are really diving into their home renovations and they're being amazing about how they're filming them. I gotta say, it's really impressive to see it.
Awesome.
I'm terrible at filming a home renovation though. I just want to get it done.
Yeah. That's the balance. Do I want to create content or do I want to get it done?
Yeah, like
I fall into that too sometimes, right? Like I'm working on something and I'm halfway through and I think, oh crap, I forgot I wanted to film this. And I totally forgot.
That little post that I did about adding this exhaust hose, I had to stop and wipe it off and restart it because I wasn't filming it. I'm like, come on, Tiff, this is your only original content you're going to be making for a bit. Like, film the thing, do the thing. So I had to start over. I was like,
it's awesome.
And then I didn't use the footage of me drawing after all, but hey, whatever. It's for the love of it.
Options.
You can go back in a couple weeks and reuse that photo.
That's true. Re-edited it.
Exactly.
But yes, feel free to pick my brain. I'm sure I'll pick yours on your marketing strategies too. It's fun. I love this community, like the sharing and everything like that. It's great.
I've never once reached out to anyone on Instagram and had them say like, sorry, I can't help you, or like totally been blown off, right? Like everyone is always so open to helping and sharing. And that's what's amazing about it, right? Like, I'm happy when people reach out to me and ask questions. I'm more than happy to give my time and help because people did that for me when I first started, right? So, I'm just like, there's a lot better makers out there than me, that's for sure. And, I'm honored that people ask me questions, right? So, my life motto, my golden rule is don't be a dick. That's how I live my life. and it's pretty simple to live by. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
So that's me on Instagram. That's me in real life. Don't be a dick.
And then you shout out Vic earlier, and I gotta say, he's someone who's a great sounding board too. He's great at asking questions. Because I did, like, when I was pitching Workbench Con to work for them, I went straight to him. I'm like, what's your thoughts on this? How much do you pay somebody to do what they're doing for you? What kind of services do they offer? You're like, that way I knew how much to base what I was going to ask for, you know? So I did that research. So don't be afraid to reach out to other makers and ask them questions. Like, people really do share. It's amazing.
Yeah. That one hashtag, community over competition, like that is what this space is all about. Right. Yeah. So it's incredible.
It is.
I think, like, why I have enjoyed following you for so long is that's, you live that, right? Like
I do.
You're kind of you're one of the backbones of this maker community, right? You bring everyone together, and it's amazing.
I try, and like, it's so informative for me though. Like, seriously, every time we have somebody on, I learn something or I'm inspired by each person. So it's been like a win-win for me, because I get to know people. I get to help them showcase who they are to others. But then I also get stuff from it, like the conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Like they're conversations, I think. And that's the best part, right? Is the back and forth and the sharing of the community, right? It's not always just an interview of a maker.
Yeah,
it's a conversation.
It is. Yeah. And that's why I switched it from like the word podcast to conversation, because it's turned more to conversation than an interview.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you and I were talking about that when you were thinking of names for it, and you nailed it, right? You nailed it with the names. So
thank you. And I just switched and did carving conversations for the other one, because I'm super creative. But Kevin, you had something to say.
Hey, it works. It's catchy. It's alliteration, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
No, I was just gonna say, and if you don't know the answer, you usually know who you can refer someone's question to, and they can answer it for them. So it's pretty cool that you can like pay it forward and pass on the knowledge.
I like that too. Like, even like I have people reach out for me for like a piece or something that, like, it's not my area of expertise. Like, I know I'm not going to do it justice because it's not my style. I'm more than happy to refer a client to someone else, because I know that's their specialty, right? Reach out to this person. They're the one you want to speak to.
Yeah. I usually send most people to Sam.
Yeah.
I do. I'm like, go to that guy. He's full time. Yeah. He's awesome. And he'll figure it out. Like, absolutely. Yeah. But no more Sam. I'm keeping them all. That's
I don't know if you've seen what's his Flawless Sign Co. He's a laser guy, the acrylic.
Love him. He's going to be on this show one day. He blows my mind. Yeah.
He is amazing. And he's nailed down like the dog breeder market. Like, he has absolutely like cornered that market, and his signs are absolutely incredible. I love watching.
You follow him, Kevin?
I don't think I do, but I know, like, I just did a few dogs, and people like that kept me going, but I kind of got burned out on it. Like, people love their pets, and that's like, I can see how that can blow up.
So he has a laser, and he makes laser cut acrylic, and his signs literally are flawless. Like, the name of it, like, you have to have a lot of nerve and like confidence in yourself to call yourself Flawless Sign Company. And the guy, it's not like false advertising. They're seriously beautiful acrylic signs. But we were talking to him the other day, and I was like, I thought he was a huge dog lover. And he's like, I don't even have a dog.
No, he's the guy though. Like, that community, I guess, like I guess that community is tight, and they refer everyone to him, I guess, because it's working. He makes some incredible pieces.
They're dope logos. Like, at least they're cool looking. Like, at least he's not making things that you're like, oh, another bulldog piece. No, it's like,
they're all different. Chain. They're all amazing. Yeah.
Cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah. The use of color is really cool too. Yeah. Now it's fun.
Just the different color.
Let's keep talking about other makers now. This is fun.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah. Kevin, who's someone that you like following?
Well, obviously Tiff and you. Ricky and Andrew are some of my favorite. Just the thing that Andrew can do with the video editing, and then Ricky just reminds me of my college roommate. Just kind of the same look, but like just goes for it, like reckless abandon, but like super creative.
No fear. That's what I love about him. He just whatever's on his mind, he's gonna say it. And then Andrew, like a wizard. Wizard.
Yeah, those
And
two.
Andrew was a wizard. Yeah.
Yeah, but
And he's
And
awesome
super
in
friendly.
person. Yeah.
but actually the first encounter I had was with the Canadian guys. Actually, I just started listening to their podcast. Vic and Mark and Dom. They were always like super open, and Mark was like super. Why am I spacing his handle?
Remarkable Woodworks.
Thank you.
Mark.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But he was super friendly and just
he's
downright
his
good
video.
dude, so.
His video editing has really shot up lately. He's done a couple of videos lately that their editing is incredible.
Yeah.
He had a great quote too on their For the Gram podcast about like his wife being angry about when he was on his phone all the time, and then how that became his career. I thought that was really good. Just be like, and now she understands. But like, that's something I'm sure every one of us have battled, is just like, why are you still on your phone? Get off your phone. What are you doing on your phone? Because people don't understand. Like sometimes, I'm bullshitting. Like, let's be honest. I'm talking to you, and I'm saying something stupid. But like other things is like, I'm networking, or I'm approaching a brand, or I'm trying to reply to this email because somebody asked me a question about something and I want to help them. Like it's a necessary evil. It does get addicting, but I think it's just honestly because like I'm at a day job that I don't want to be at. So like I keep popping it open. I can't wait to like kind of break away from my phone a little bit,
Yeah. And that's like, that's, being in the shop working, putting my phone down and just putting my head down and working. Right. That's
right.
It's the best too. Right.
Until you forgot to record anything that you wanted to record, but it is the best.
I am guilty of that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Do you do a lot of process videos? I don't know if I've seen some.
I'm starting to now. So like, that's one thing I'm going to start focusing on. Is giving some tips and stuff like that. I haven't in the past because I felt like other people did it better, right? Like guys like Sam and Dave and like Lizzie as well. I felt like they were the ones that were.
It's a certain point though where your learnings are going to be different from what they like.
Yep.
There's different products that are local to you that you can highlight. So definitely. Plus, that's good for brands to work with.
Also, like, if you're not as advanced as them, maybe your process is a little different that someone else can relate to. So you never know if your process will connect with someone else.
Yeah, because they both have lasers. You're not using a laser currently. So you're making the CNC. The CNC and the scroll saw. Here's your limitations, and how do you deal with that? I
think part of it's probably like a bit of like the imposter syndrome was probably there for a while, right? Where I felt like, I hadn't earned my place in the community yet.
Well, you're a new kid.
I feel like I'm getting there. Yeah. I feel like I'm getting there, and people ask me questions now. So I feel like, why not share the knowledge I do have and I have learned, right? So
doing this podcast, I've learned to never judge somebody for how long they've been on Instagram, because we all have lives that are not on Instagram, and you may have been making that or working on that for your whole life and no one has any idea, because just because it wasn't on Instagram doesn't mean it didn't happen,
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, I'm gonna let you go enjoy hanging out with your wife, but seriously guys, thank you both for joining me. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks
just
for having
chilling.
me, co-host.
I know, and now we're all cozy and we worked into this. It's hard to say goodbye, but I bid you adieu.
Well, I gotta go get vanilla shake now.
Okay, I know, right?
Jealous.
I'm like, I have ice cream upstairs. Tell your wife that she just made me go get an ice cream. It's her fault.
You can tell I'm Canadian too, because our Denmark just has the maple leaf in the middle.
Maple leaf.
I would have never known that.
I never realized that until right now.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. It's kind of mind blowing.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
All right, man. Have a good night. Bye, guys.
All right, see ya.
See you guys.
Yeah.
All right, I hope you enjoyed this episode and getting to know BA and Kevin from Lefty's Woodshop. BA is a really great guy, and I'm happy that we got to hear the story of the Wobbly Arrow and just get to know more about him. If you like the show and you want to support it, head on over to Patreon at patreon.com/makerconversations and sign on up. It's as cheap as $5 a month to help support the show. All right, I hope you have a great day, and Don't forget, if you are going to Haven, let me know. I want to hang out. So hit me up in my DMs because I'd like to see whoever's going to be there. All right, have a great day.